We're going to do a simple footprinting of a web server. We're going to use a tool called IDServe. It's by Steve Gibson, really nice guy. Actually, the tool has been around for a very long time. So you should have it copied already to Server 2016. And we're going to open this up, and we're going to go find IDServe. There's nothing to install, we just double click it. Now you can do this on actual web servers out on the internet if you want. We're just going to test them against some of our own web servers. We have, for servers that are up and running, we have Metasploitable. Let me just actually click it so you can see it. Here's Metasploitable. And you have already typed ifconfig to verify the IP address, and mine is still 192.168.75.131. So we've got that one. We have, of course, Server 2016. We also have Server 2012, and its IP should be 192.168, whatever your subnet is, .12. So let me just do that real quick, ipconfig. Sure enough, mine is 192.168.75.12. And we also have Kali Linux, which is not running any services. It's the attacker machine in most cases. And so I log on as root tour, and I open a terminal, and I ifconfig, and Kali is 192.168.75.154. Okay, with that in mind, I have two targets. I actually can target Server 2012 R2 and Metasploitable. So all I have to do is put in the IP address or the URL of the server I want to target. So I'll put in Metasploitable first. 192.168.75.131. And I'm just going to press enter or query the server. And it immediately finds out for us, and unfortunately it doesn't really expand, that this thing is, the server name is Metasploitable. It is listening on HTTP port 80, and it does indeed respond to a query for the default web page. It gives a HTTP 11200 OK with a date, and then it also identifies the server. It is an Apache 2.8 Ubuntu, and it has PHP version 5.2.4, and a little bit more information, query complete. So we can see that this is an Apache 2.2.8 on Ubuntu. So that's what we know about Metasploitable. If we do the same query against 2012 R2, let's hit that one, we can see that this one is a Microsoft IIS 8.5, and it has ASP.NET. Now the reason why this information is important is because then you start doing Google searches for exploits and vulnerabilities against those particular versions. Now we can see here that when we made a connection, the name is Server 2012 R2. It is indeed listening on standard HTTP port 80. When we requested the server's default page, it came back with unauthorized. That tells us right off the bat that it probably requires a username and password. And we're going to be checking that out a little bit later. So that is how we do a very quick footprint of a web server.